Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is Sri Prakasarao Velagapudi Garu, and we're going to be talking about the temple town of Tirupati and Tirumala and some of the illegalities that are taking place there and how these things need to be rectified, because we all know that Tirupati Tirumala is one of the most holiest sites for Sanatanis, and therefore when somebody tries to come in and do things that are not right, it is our responsibility to point it out and also try and see if we can get it rectified. To that end, let's welcome Sri Prakasarao-garu. Prakasarao-garu, namaskaram. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, Sree Iyer Garu. I have known you for almost close to 7-8 years or even 10 years.
Yes.
You are doing a tremendous job. And because of you, so many people come to know about what is happening in Bharat and about Sanatan Dharma, how you are helping to make sure everybody understands the dimensions of attacks from different directions and what action we have to take. And we are doing a human service to make people aware of it, so that way everybody can take some responsibility of ownership of their motherland.
Dhanyosmi Prakasarao-garu. It's all the guidelines and the routes that you have laid out, and many other mentors of mine, including Dr. Subramanian Swami. The thing here is, I wake up in the morning, someone tells me do this thing, I don't think twice about it, I just do it, and then leave the fruits of whatever happens to God. Whatever happens, I'm happy with it. Prakasarao-garu, before we go into the specifics, I want to tell our viewers a little bit of a perspective. Viewers, many of you perhaps are originally from India, but right now this is a worldwide broadcast. So you may relate with this, you may not relate with this. But what has been happening is there has been a systematic campaign to convert India for the last 30 to 40 years. And if you watch PGurus videos, you know one of the biggest culprits in conversion to Christianity is a place called, as an entity called Church of South India. So the thing here is they are an entity and a group on their own. These people have been doing some stuff. You can go back and look at our videos to understand a little bit more in depth of what is happening. But it is not the only entity. There are many organizations that are doing this. What our point here is, if somebody willingly converts, more power to them. But when you are trying to coerce, especially at a holy temple, that is just not on. Also, thousands are getting converted. GHHF in its own small way is doing a little bit of Ghar Wapsi, and that is really burning up some people's posteriors. That's all I can say. So we are going to talk to you about a single incident that took place. Prakasarao-garu, I think you were there that day, right, sir?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you were there, but your group was the one that was putting it together.
We organized it from here. Yeah.
And I'm going to attach some videos that actually capture this incident, so you can watch for yourself. You can see for yourself what happened. So I yield the floor to you, Prakasarao-garu. You can set the context, and then we can continue with that, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. You see, basically, many of you probably may be aware that we started Global Hindu Heritage Foundation in 2006 with a mission to promote and then preserve and then propagate Sanatana Dharma in a very peaceful way. The Sanatana Dharma stands for love, compassion, tolerance, understanding, live, let live. Because we do not want to have any kind of dissension with other groups. Because as long as you stand for some truth, some principles, some conduct, all of us can live together. This whole globe is such a small place. We all have to live together. With that aim, we started this Global Hindu Heritage Foundation. A lot of things we have done over the last 17, 18 years. But for the last 4 years, after this COVID, we have been trying to figure out how do we do our seva to motherland. As a result, we started about 5 different programs. One is Ghar Wapsi. I'll come to that in 1 second. And then other one is Bal Samskar. That is basically we have started close to 200 schools to teach Hinduism to our children in about 6 different states as well as Bangladesh. And the third one is Grama Devata renovation and revival. That is where we feel that we need to protect our villages. So a lot of activities are going on there. And then 𝗒𝙬𝗍𝙐 𝗢𝙬. Basically, many temples are not in a position even to light a lamp in the evenings. So we are trying our best to help those temples which need that information, that help. And then we also started sponsor a priest. So that means there are many priests who are unemployed and there are many temples that are closed. We hire these priests and then try to match them with a closed temple. So that way this priest will open the temple twice a day in the morning and evening. Also, we requested them 2 other things. One, they have to go to every house. Every day, maybe 2-3 houses, but in general, we have to we wanted to make sure our priest goes to these houses, invite them personally, give them prasadam, invite them as if it is their temple, and they are the one who are supposed to benefit. So that way, they will come and then start reviving the temple culture in villages. And also he is supposed to start bhajan mandal also in the temple. So these are the 5 things that we started. But today we will talk about Ghar Wapsi. So Ghar Wapsi, basically, it is not like converting to anything, except we are inviting those people back to their own village, back to their own mother, back to their own house, because they have drifted away for one reason or the other. There are many, many reasons we can talk about it. That's not the important up here. The point is they have drifted away from Sanatan Dharma and they are looking for some occasion where they wanted to come back. Because it's not easy once you are converted to other religion. Somehow they will try to influence them and force them in some cases to remain in that one. That's the reason many of the people who are got converted to Christianity, they don't even want to talk to anybody. Somehow the organization is such, the converted people do not have a choice even to talk to other people. And you know, there are some people, even though their father has died, so they did not even go to even funeral services. What a sad situation. You are born to your parents, and when your father, real father, biological father died, you don't go because you have changed the religion. What kind of religion teaches us not to even respect your own parents? That is what is happening. So then we started this Ghar Wapsi. We go and talk to the people, and if they are interested, so we will take them back. We'll take them to a temple. We will do all the Shuddhi Karmas. We will do homas, and then all the pujas, and then we try to change them to Hinduism. And in many cases, we also prepared some legal documents to ensure that they are legally changed the religion. So that way in the future, there is no question about whether he is a Christian or not. But as you know, in many cases, many of the people who got converted to Christianity in villages, they don't even register as Christians. They still act as Hindus and receive all the benefits. But at this time, so we are trying to bring those people back to Hinduism, whoever is interested. And so that's one of the things. Now, we have started this one about 3 years ago. We have this Ghar Wapsi program in 6 different states. And so Anantapur area is one of the areas where we have a group of people who will go every village and try to just to give the information and then invite them back to Hinduism. So last 3 years, probably about 200, 225 people came back. And, we don't have to hide anything. We can give you all the names, everything, because there is nothing secret about it. We don't force them. You don't talk to these people, like nothing. So just like any other Hindu who is so free, they can talk and they can do almost anything kind of thing. So they are willing to take whatever it is. Now, after these 3 years, so converted about 225, and so then about October last year, that is 2023, we thought we will take about 40 returned Hindus, people who returned to Hinduism. We thought we will take them to Tirupati and have Darshan of Balaji, because you see, that is our sacred place, the most sacred place. Of course, now Ayodhya has come, and of course, Kashi Vishwanath temple and Krishna Janmasthala, these two are the most sacred, and then Balaji. These are the four most sacred places for Hindus. So we took these 40 people to Tirupati, and they had darshan on one Sunday, and they were sitting actually on the hill, Tirumala hill itself I'm talking about. On Tirumala hill, all these 40 people, they were sitting and waiting in order to take prasadam and then come back, go down the hill and go back to Anantapur. So one gentleman, so he comes and sits with them, and then he will slowly ask, where did you come from? How did you come from? Why did you come? All that. And then slowly started talking about, this is a Balaji, and all of them are man-made gods. They have no power. They are all just stones. I don't know why we all worship, and I don't think we should worship. I think Jesus is the only real God, and we all need to come back, all this. By the time they realized what this guy is talking about, they were surprised. They were looking all around, and some of these people came back from Christianity. Not some of them, almost all these 40 people. So two priests accompanied them. And then these people who were exposed to this Christian guy, they alerted these two priests, and they came and talked to him. And then they realized that this guy is trying to demean our Hinduism, and then demean Balaji, and then try to convince these people to get converted. Then they talk to him. They try to argue with him. Probably they have given a few laps, whatever slaps, and they finally tied one raksha on him, saying, we are Hindus. We are not violent people. If it is somebody else, you would have been dead or something. But we want to make sure that you live happily, but don't do these kinds of things on the hill, because this is our sacred place and all that. And so we have that video also, and then I'm sure you are going to see the person who is talking about Jesus and all that. So the point is, we are looking at the Tirumala hill, the most sacred place, and you are allowing a Christian to come and try to convert the people, demean the God that we have been worshipping, and we are making a living out of it. All these people who are working for Balaji temple, they are earning, they are living off of Balaji disciples' money. And they have to be grateful that they are at least have some employment, and they should be grateful that they are able to see God every day and serve the God. But now what they are doing is, there are many Christians even in the TTD, working TTD, in working. We even submitted that memorandum almost 4 years ago to Sri Singal, saying there are 15% Christians may be working in Tirupati. He never questioned. Four of us went and talked to him, mentioned we are requesting him to take some action because there are at least 15% Christians working in TTD. He never questioned even that number. That means they all know there are some people working at TTD, but they do not know what to do, how to do. So this particular incident that I'm talking about it, as soon as I received these videos from our priests, two priests from Anantapur, who took these 40 Hindus. So I immediately called executive officer's office. So he was not there. His assistant was there. And his assistant informed me that please send all that information and the video that you have. So that way I will forward it to our executive officer and see what can be done. Then I called Mr. Kishore, who is a vigilance officer, and talked to him personally. Personally means on the phone, at least a live phone. And he was surprised it happened. I said, I will send you a video so you can look at it. So it's not just saying somebody is doing. We have a video evidence also. He asked me to send it. I said, I will send. Please investigate and let us know what action that you have taken. Not only what action you have taken on this individual, but how many people are roaming around on the hills and trying to convert and trying to demean the most sacred place on planet Earth for Hindus. And I want to make sure you take appropriate action and prevent this kind of Christianization on the hill. I have written that letter asking to make sure that you investigate and then do it. Then he said, no, sir, we will let you know, because once you send, so we have face recognition technology. There is no way he will be able to come back because people will stop him at the entrance and all that. Even though that is true, sir, what I said was, it's not just only one person like this one. There may be so many. What kind of precautions are you taking to prevent these kinds of incidents? How many are there? Hell is so big. How many people you have employed to make sure this kind of thing is not happening? Please let us know. So it is more than 3 months since I wrote that letter, and about 7 days ago, I had written a letter one more time asking that I have not received any response. What action you have taken, please let us know by February 6th. And so even by February 6th, we have not received. So what I am trying to say to all Hindus, be aware first. If you come across any Christian on the hill, let us make sure that we will inform the police right away and to the authorities on TTD, so that way at least they are aware of it. Whether they are going to take action or not, that is not, we cannot say anything. So TTD, if we cannot protect TTD, we did not protect those 3 temples. So let us protect this Balaji temple. Whether you belong to one caste, one party, all this you set aside. You are a Indian first and a Hindu first, second. If you don't protect your mother at this particular time, what is our responsibility? If not, if we don't do it, who will do it? If it is not the right time, when is the right time? We as Hindus, we have to stand up, make sure that Tirumala Hills is preserved, protected, and remain sacred. It is in your hands, it is in my hands. Just, we all want to go and have darshan. But let us not be so selfish. We only go when we want to have blessings. but we don't want to see that God is protected and preserved, that hill is preserved. You have to preserve it so that you can go again and again. So this kind of incident should not happen, and I am requesting, again I will write a letter to TTD. Then whatever further action we have to take, we will take, because we cannot leave it like that one. So we have to challenge so many things. TTD is exempt from Right to Information Act. We are looking at it to challenge it. And anyway, that is one thing. So that way, when we request information through Right to Information, they will be obligated. So that they have got exemption about 10 years ago. We want to see that we contest it and then see if we can remove it, so that way whenever we ask some information, they will give. So going back, I want to just request all the Hindus who are going to Tirumala, have Darshan of Balaji, make sure Balaji is not demeaned, hill is not infected with all this Christianization and the Christians and other religious people, because as per Constitution, so we can operate the way we want to operate. If even this second incident about the government taking over, that is a different matter. Even that also we should not allow it. So let us make sure we take ownership of our religious places, of our mother, that is Sanatana Dharma.
Thank you so much, Prakasarao-garu. And viewers, I don't know how many of you know this, but the Tirumala, the Murti, is actually made of Shaligram, and it is believed that it was not sculpted. See, we don't even know how far back in time it goes. The earliest documented history of how the temple came about is in a book called 𝗤𝗚𝙀𝗎, which was written in 1800. The British East India Company had finally or just acquired this area from a Nawab. He was selling off all his assets and they got it. And the new collector, he wanted to know what was the Sthala Puran. And he said, can somebody tell us? So this was written in Telugu, but the title is 𝗤𝗚𝙀𝗎. But in that they say that it was Janamejaya, the grandson of Abhimanyu, who first made it possible for people to go and worship Balaji in Tirumala. From that point forward, for 2000 years, unbroken, some descendant of the Pandavas were the ones who were taking care of it. And then it moved to the Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas, Vijayanagar Empire, and so on and so forth. But this temple has enjoyed the protection of people going all the way back to Mahabharata. This is a very, very special place. So I couldn't agree more with what Prakasarao-garu has said. Understand that some of these places are unbelievable. If somebody says that this is a stone, this is the Swayambhu. That means it got formed that way. How can a stone look like God? Anyway, so these are all, we have moved away from Sanatana Dharma because we have been, pursuing our career, our future and all that. It's now time to go back and devote some time. Sanatana Dharma makes very little demand of you. It doesn't say every Sunday you come to church or every Sunday you come to temple. Every day in the week there is something special. On a particular weekday, there's one murti, there's one temple that is special. On another day, there's another temple that is special. So it's up to you what you want to do. But do one thing, do something. Don't do nothing. Thank you very much, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you so much, Sree Iyer ji. It's a pleasure talking to you, and say a few words about whatever experiences that we had on Tirumala Hill. I hope people will look at it and take it seriously and make sure it is free of other religions, so that way that sacredness and security of the temple is maintained.
Thank you so much, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you.